well. That way, that's your cue to stop and move ahead for the questions for our interviewers. All right, so 1, 2, 3, start.
Hola familia, my name is Rolando Vera. I'm a mechanical engineering sophomore, and I'm currently running as your 2021-2022 SHEP treasurer. I joined SHEP in the fall of 2019 after being persuaded to attend the general meeting by some of my friends. And now, a year and a half later, I'm glad I attended and I love it. During my first meeting, I learned about SHEP, its goals, and how we strive for student success. Having pupusas with the SHEP familia that night made me feel closer to home, and which at the end of the day is what SHEP's all about, building relationships that will last us a lifetime. Since then, I have academically and professionally developed myself, not only as a student, but as a friend. I have been blessed with numerous informational sessions, mock interviews, resume critiques, and social events, some of which I know were not free. It is because of this that I'm running to be your 2021-2022 SHEP treasurer. I'm dedicated to ensuring that next year, all events are feasible to engage more students like me into the SHEP familia. It is SHEP's goal to bring students closer to their personal dreams. And with my experience creating and organizing bids for Velasquez Construction and raising funds for events such as the annual banquet as fundraising director for the SHEP Mini e-board, I believe I can work with the executive board to make sure that next year, money is no barrier. With this experience, I have learned to communicate effectively with my team and work passionately for that, which I believe benefits me and the SHEP familia as well. It is these valuable skills that I believe will make me an exceptional treasurer. I look forward to working with the executive board and the shares, seeking solutions and organizing our finances to ensure that next year no event or idea goes unexplored. Thank you.
Awesome, Rolando. You actually stayed under time with 20 seconds. Really solid. Cindy or Andres, whoever's ready, you can go first and get your question.
Okay. So Rolando, great job. Very good speech, short and sweet. My question to you is, what would be your plan of action, or how would you prioritize events if, let's say, everybody on the board came to you and said, hey, I have a budget that I want for this event, and you can only cover let's say three of those events. How would you, what would your plan be? How would you communicate with your e-board members?
Of course. As I said, one of my goals is to make sure that all events are feasible, right? So I've been taught working in construction that sometimes prices do have to come down. And with that, I've learned to optimize prices. So I would talk to whoever the chair is or wherever whoever came up with the idea and see what type of changes we can make to the event. I know there's sometimes we can change the prices or look for, well, in my case, sometimes I have to look for better materials and better price options. So that's kind of what I would do. I would see if we can reduce the budget, right? And how we can optimize that to make sure that all events are possible. If that's not the case, then my next step would be to look at fundraising ideas. I know this year for the banquet, I had to raise some money, right? So one of my ideas was to have a restaurant partnership with Mods. So that's what we did, and it was a very social and engaging event. And that's exactly what I would do as treasurer. I would look for ideas to bring money into the organization so we can make sure that everybody's ideas are executed to the fullest of the extent. So those are my goals, and that's what I would do.
Okay, thank you.
Can I ask a question? Do you have time?
Yes, go ahead, Andres.
Rolando, thank you for the speech. If you were to prioritize the 5 pillars of SHEP into which one you would give the most money to and which one you'd give the less money to, how would you do it?
I would prioritize definitely professional and leadership development. And this is why, because when members are doing good and when members are excelling, it reflects very good on the organization. And I think that eventually is going to reflect how we're thought of and how we're viewed in the university. That would engage more students to join the organization. And as we've previously stated, some of our fundraising events depend on members being engaged and depend on attendance of the members. So when we have a good influence on the school and we're recognized for developing our members and for getting them internships and making their resumes better, and people want to join. And when that happens, we're going to have a thriving organization, which will help us raise more money, have better events, and that's exactly why we prioritize leadership development and professional development.
Awesome. And which one would you put at the bottom?
With the bottom, I would choose community outreach, but simply because I know that some of those ideas are a little bit more easy and sometimes take less money to come about, because we're usually reaching out to different schools and things like that. And I've been in the outreach committee, and I know that sometimes it takes less money only because we are working with the schools and the schools want us there the same way we want to be there. So having that mutual agreement sometimes may reduce the budget for the ideas.
Thank you.
Awesome, Rolando. Okay, so last question. So one of the big responsibilities as a treasurer is seeing what the big expenses are for the year. For example, events like National Conference and RODC. What system will you have on your end to approach the year and make sure that you have a strong budget for your full term?
Of course. I think the most important thing here is organization, right? From the very beginning, you have to be organized with everything that you have. I'm sure we're going to get a total budget, right? And as you go about distributing that budget, you need to keep account of everything that's going on, things that are coming in and things that are going out, right? At the very beginning, you have to kind of see how things are going to play out along the year, right? And with the different pillars asking for different amounts of money, you have to, like I said, prioritize earlier. But I think one of the most important things, like I said, is organizing. So with everything being organized, we're going to have a set mind on how much we can spend for everything. And that'll give us kind of an overview of what we need to do throughout the year in terms of fundraising, in terms of getting more money, so that we can thrive as an organization and we can be organized, so nothing's a barrier.
Awesome, thank you. All right, well, that will conclude for you, Rolando. Thank you very much. Great job. Next, we will have coming up